Hey everyone, so I just wanted to make a quick video here to show you how dimensioning works in Onshape, just in case you have any questions about that. So I'm just going to quickly create a new sketch on my top plane here. I'm going to click on the top so I'm looking straight at it. So let's say I have a rectangle, all right, and it's like that. Boy, don't worry about the size right away. The dimension tool is up here. It looks like it looks like an arrow in between two lines because that's how we draw dimensions. You can also just type dimension in the search box up here if you can't find it because maybe your screen's too small. Or you can even actually, I'm going to push D on the keyboard and notice the button lights up. If I push D again, it goes away. Or if I hit escape, it goes away. So you can also activate it with D on the keyboard. So the simplest way to dimension just a straight line is to simply click once on it, and you see my little gray circle appear showing that I clicked. And then I'm going to click a second time, bam, right there, and it lets me dimension it. So now I could set this to, let's say, 50 millimeters. I'm working in millimeters here. If I wanted to set the length of this line over here, I could click the line. I have to move my mouse away. So remember, it's 2 clicks if you're dimensioning a line. Once to select the line, and then again to go and actually stamp down the number somewhere. So let's make this 30. Now, let's say I wanted to change these, okay? If I double click on one of those dimensions, it's going to let me edit it. I can make this 60, let's say, and I can double click this one and make it 40. I can hit escape to cancel out the dimension tool. Then I can move these around. I can put them where I need to. It's not going to change the dimension, and everything is working well. So that's kind of one way to do dimensions. Another way, if I say delete these, so I'm going to pick one and then hit delete or backspace on the keyboard. And in order to do that, you have to make sure you're not still in the dimensioning tool, or it's not going to work. Like it's not letting me. Oh, actually, it does work. Look at that. So you can delete them in the dimension tool too. So you click it once, hit backspace on your keyboard, it'll delete a dimension. If you want to take a different approach to dimensioning, you can also click on the endpoints of a line. So I could click the beginning. So that was one click. The end, that's another click. And now I get my dimension. I could stamp it down, of course, and type a number in or whatever. Click the end, click the other end, move the mouse away. Let's go 80. Okay. So that is how you do some basic dimensioning. Other things that you can dimension might be something like a circle. So let's say I was going to put a circle. I'm hovering so it locks into this spot right here that lines up with the origin. And I'm going to hit escape to cancel my circle tool. It doesn't move up and down because it is stuck to the origin because of that dotted line I had there, but it moves left and right. So if I put some dimensions in this is where I could take advantage of the double click thing. So I could pick an end. So I pick the origin, and this is like a tape measure. Like you're hooking it onto one thing, bringing it over to the other, and then moving your mouse away to, that's like you reading the ruler. You're moving it away, but you're actually going to set the length. And if we're trying to dimension the outside of a circle, like the size of it, we just click once on the outside of the circle, and you'll get a little symbol like that. You might have seen that little symbol. Let's make this 80. This symbol right here is kind of a circle with a slash through it. That means diameter. That means the distance across a circle. That's like the slash is across. And if it's easier for you to think about, you can keep the circle dimensions inside of a circle. If you had something like an arc right here, and we tried to dimension that, that's going to go by the radius of the circle, which puts an R in front of it. So that's the distance just from the center to the outside, not the distance all the way across. So that would be 40. And look, that looks like it's the same as this because the radius of this circle is 40, but the diameter of this circle is 80. It's twice the distance from the center to the outside. So that's some geometry stuff if you want it. But those are kind of the basics of dimensioning. There are lots of other nuances, like if you leave a sketch, you accept a sketch, and you try to do a dimension tool, you're not going to get it. You're not going to be able to find it. So you have to make sure you're editing a sketch, and we can always double click the sketches in the feature browser to get back in and set those sizes. So just be aware of that you can only adjust the size of a dimension or add a dimension if you're editing a sketch. So I hope this helps. If you have questions, let me know.